Article titled 6 Driving Safety Tips says, your reaction time is equivalent, if not worse, than if you were driving with a blood alcohol concentration level of 0.08. Texting has become a problem. People have become so good at texting that they can maintain a conversation with one person and have another conversation through texting. An 18-year-old girl from Montana was an avid texter. At the dinner table, she would talk to her parents, but would also be holding a conversation with her friends with her phone under the table. Her obsession with texting worried her classmates when they constantly saw her swerving onto the oncoming lane, and they automatically knew that she was texting and driving. On the day before graduation, she was on the way to a minor league baseball game when she got lost. She was texting a player on the team who invited her, trying to get directions to the game. Before she knew it, she had clipped the side of the bridge, which flipped her car over to the opposing lane, and the last message she got was, "Where you at?" Texting while driving is a growing problem in today's society. It doesn't only put you in danger, it harms everyone around you. You may have not been in this type of situation, but it can happen to anyone. For this reason, today we are going to go over what happens when you text and drive, and the laws that have been enforced. First of all, here are some things that may put it in perspective. Although texting may seem important at the time, in the long run, is it worth the risk and dangers that are associated with texting and driving? Texting is a distraction, and it causes drivers to take his or her eyes off the road. Each second that the driver does not have their full attention on the road, and it increases the chances of an accident to occur significantly. According to distraction.gov, the article titled "What is Distracted Driving?" mentioned that 5 seconds is the average time that your eyes look on your phone while driving. When traveling at a speed of 55 miles per hour, that's enough time to cover the length of a football field. According to www.osha.gov, the article titled "Distracted Driving and Young Workers" says, crash rates for young drivers are high. And in the United States, the fatal crash rate per mile driven for 16 and 19-year-olds is nearly 3 times the rate for driving over 20 years old and over. Risk in the highest risk is 16 and 17-year-olds, and a total of 3,115 teenagers got in a wreck and they were killed in car accidents in 2010. According to NHSA.gov, the article titled "Distraction" says, there are 2 components of the distraction safety problem. Take demands to relate amount of resources: visual, cognitive, and manual. They are required to perform the task. The other issue is exposure, which is how often drivers engage in different tasks. Putting those 2 concepts together, even if it's an easier task, can be a bigger safety problem if the person does the task 50% of the time. A recent study has shown that the effect of using a cell phone while driving the car was used with a Honda Pilot SUV. The car was, they had a red light that was mounted on the driver's windshield to simulate the braking of another car in front of them. While the driver was unimpaired, it took 5 seconds to brake. While the driver was legally drunk, it took an extra 4 feet. While the driver was reading an email, it took an extra 30 feet. And while the driver was texting, it took an amount of 60 extra feet. In recent years, there has been many legal actions trying to take place to minimize the use of cell phones while driving, and due to its negative effects of driving. Texting while driving is banned. They were banned in 46 states, and according to GHSA, those 46 states, 9 of those states just banned cell phones completely. DC, Puerto Rico, Guam, and U.S. Virgin Islands banned text messaging for all drivers. DC and the Virgin Islands have banned all and the use of completely using their cell phones. Texting while driving is continuing to be a problem today. Everyone thinks that they are the best driver, or they're pretty good to say it at the least. But all it takes for your eyes to be off the road for a second, and an accident can occur. You've heard how texting while driving is not equal, if not equal, is worse than being under the influence of alcohol. All the studies that have been conducted are there for a reason. So many people have cell phones and text regularly on a minute-to-minute basis. That's hard not to send a quick message while behind the wheel. But for your sake and others out there, wait until you stop driving. You'll see the person soon enough. This is the girls from Montana. That's her car. And this text might cost your life. Don't text and drive. Thanks.